Going for the crystalline flask, keep himself all safe.
Yeah. Going for the defensive item build to start, keeps the sustain going. It is going to be Ignite for the mid laners here, so no like TP cast in to get back into lane sooner. Something to watch out for. Both support starting with their gold generation. We're going to see where their builds end up taking them with this one. Early ward for Gamers 2, going to watch their own blue buff. Heavy botlane going to make their way towards that side of the map.
And they're just forming up here. They're looking to see if an invade will come out. You know, red side last game, Chantal Mactwao had a lot of luck in that bush up top.
They did.
Trying to replicate it here for heavy bot lane.
Well, see what they can do with this one. Right now, the Gamers 2 on the wrong side of the map for that one. So waiting in that brush won't do much, aside from attune you with nature.
And
if you don't have allergies, that would suck.
Absolutely suck. Be allergic to grass?
Yeah. You couldn't play Garen.
No, you could not play Garen. You'd come out of the bush all
Just
all
sneezing.
itchy.
Yeah.
Ah.
Watery eyes.
You'd be really red too.
Yep. See what we get with this one. Gamers 2, though, going to look for a late invade on the bottom side of the map, which heavy bot lane will not spot there. So the defensive level 1. There we go. Heavy bot lane making their way around a little bit more.
And they have to invade. Because if you don't invade, you're going to lose a buff. And with the 90-second trinkets, or 2-minute trinkets, sorry, they're 2-minute trinkets. 120-second trinkets.
That is indeed the case. Well, heavy bot lane going for the late invade down towards their opponent's blue buff. They will get spotted by a ward on their way over.
There's a real ward there. And now they have all the information they need. But at this point, if you are heavy bot lane, you can assume that your blue is gone.
Yep, so there's a smite there from the Nocturne. Both teams fully clear the blue buffs, and we're going to have the 2-man jungle squads.
This is very important because the top lane still has those extra resistances on it. The bottom lane does not in this patch. So Gamers 2 is actually going to push a little faster, and they saw this coming because of the ward. So now Morden and JWoww will both get level 2 at the same time, and they'll be able to push this bottom lane extremely quick.
All right, let's see how the push goes. These guys are going to hit level 2. All the above, looks like Cabochard and Taiki, my apologies, are going to get there at about the same time. Vulture Spiderling does reach the minions. And here comes the 4v0 push.
Push them a little quick there. No cannon minion in that wave just yet. By the time it gets completely just filtered out, they will have that cannon minion ready to go. Look at that. They're actually a little bit faster here with the Spiderlings and the Skittering Frenzy, and the fact that Lee Sin has the attack speed increase. Because the jungler and top laner, Aurelia doesn't do anything extra to turrets. It's really just relying on the Nocturne's passive attack speed from his Shroud.
Well, it's going to be that first turret going down. Looks like they're going to actually donate the experience to Yuki. Problem is this minion wave is going to slow push unless he resets the wave somewhere. It's going to be something to be concerned about for the Gamers 2 lineup in this one. They're going to send their trio back to defend the tier 2 turret. And there's the recall for the Graves as well, but this might allow a lane freeze for Cabochard on Lee Sin.
Yeah, actually, his wave is actually going to push up a little bit because of how many are in it. We'll have to see how he plays it.
Yeah,
I think the freeze situation is actually better for JWoww right now.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, he just froze it.
Okay, okay. Well, we'll keep track of that in the near future. Right now, Taiki and Morden getting their way back into their own jungles. Looks like red buff going to be grabbed for Elise. Morden going to take a second and grab the Wraith before going to his own red. And here we go. The junglers doing their standard camps with this one. And we'll see how the lanes progress. Right now, actually, it's interesting because Grizzland has come down to join Cabochard on the bottom side of the map.
They can't give up the dragon pressure at this point. It's the prime objective. JWoww still has his teleport available. He can be up in that top lane. Look at that. It's going to start pushing because the cannon minion wave came up. And now he can't help it. He doesn't want it to do it, but it's going to do it anyway.
Well, we'll see at what point the teams rejoin right there, because a big wave is something that allows a team to push very heavily.
Also allows you to dive if your jungler is around.
Absolutely it does.
And once you get that kill, you deny so much experience from somebody. And look at that, 3-man strong in the mid lane.
Okay. So heavy bot lane doesn't do anything with the bottom lane. That thing got stacked up, and it's just Grizzland pushed it in, then pieced out for the recall. There's a big wave up top lane for JWoww, but it looks like no one's going to come and try to help that one push out either.
So because heavy bot lane typically wins their games against Gamers 2 10 minutes quicker, they're going to try to accelerate the pace of the game. Dude's going to get caught by Grasping Root.
Some decent damage, down a half HP, but not going to do much more than deal some damage right there. Buckshot does not quite land, but it's going to be standard lanes right here. So the team's going to reset. Nocturne actually makes his way towards the top lane right here, at least doing the same. Looks like we're going to have a bit of action on this side of the map. And I believe Morden dodged all the wards, as did Taiki. Ooh, nope. New one came down.
New one came down. They know that he's there. They also see that he doesn't have as many combat stats as Morden does.
Ever so slightly, yeah.
It just barely. But at this early on, still makes a big difference. You've basically multiplied your armor by 25%.
What's attack speed now?
Oh, yeah. Your attack speed,
boost
which is
damage.
amazing.
Yeah, for Nocturne, it's awesome. All right, Cabochard does not know about this.
There's a shadow behind him. Don't look behind you. It's right behind me. Yes, it is.
All right, there we go. Stun comes in. The jump back to the minis. He flashes, gets away from the Fear Tether. But as he summon a spell down, so successful gank.
Yep. As long as you get a flash, it's a successful gank. Any summoner spell that you get from that person makes so they don't have it in lane. And look at that. Pressure is now on. He's going to be able to buy whatever he wants.
Yeah. So that flash did cost 2 jungle camps, though. Taiki cleared away the golems and the wraiths. So if the flash doesn't mean anything, it's just golden experience that actually went heavy bot lane's way. We'll see if it means much. Right now, Gamers 2 hold on to a 200 gold lead just from their laning phase so far. We'll see if it means much more as time goes on. Slot easily grabbing some stuff. Taiki going to go buy a ward again. Looks like the ward coverage very good for Gamers 2. They've stopped every gank attempt.
Yeah, keeping it up, keeping their awareness up. They really want this. They really do. 3 of their members, former LCS. They're playing like it right now. They're playing like they want to be back in there. Yeah, but the thing is they're playing safe.
They are. Playing a bit more of a defensive game. I mean, they do have a Kassadin who's going to scale very well, though the problem is Kale does too.
But the thing is, Kassadin's early game is actually a lot better than it used to be. He stays in lane a lot more. His staying power is immense. Level 6 here.
Yeah, big damage from JWoww.
One more. Ooh.
Did not have Q back up from cooldown, so he couldn't chase any farther. Flash E wouldn't have been worth it either. But big damage comes through. JWoww winning that matchup.
Yeah, the fact that there's no flash as well means that he wins that pretty much hands down. And then the level 6 advantage, giving him a little bit, but they're going 4 men strong in the mid here. On to Ocelot.
Ooh.
He can't defend this turret by himself as Kassadin.
I like this move. This is very, very smart by heavy bot lane, making their way back quickly to the mid lane with this one. This will almost be their turret. There are some spiderlings here as well, and looks like they will be staying. At the very least, look at it on the next wave. Haiva takes turret aggro. Do you hear the defend? Actually, Gamers 2 stop the push with about 300 health left in the turret.
Yes, Ocelot needed help there. They immediately bring it up. Yuki got a little bit of free farm for himself in the meantime. Oh, going in for it.
Yeah, so there's some damage right there. You can see the plant does break through the shield eventually. Ocelot is maxing Q, by the way, on Kassadin. I think every single ability has a case for being maxed first or last for Kassadin, as people start to figure out the builds. But maxing Q for the shield primarily.
Yeah, if you were against somebody who's AD, you probably wouldn't max the Q.
No. I think melee versus melee matchups, you'd actually max W. The damage is higher per point. And you just spam at people.
And E if you want to wave clear against somebody.
It's not even a high damage spell. Like, the wave clear's not even good.
On the E?
Yeah, it's the same damage as Q. It's like 180 at max rank. So you wouldn't really wave clear with it. Because you can't get 2 off per wave, because it's gated a number of spells cast.
The base damage on it.
Yeah, base damage is super low on E.
Yeah. Went down.
But it's a big giant AoE slow, and as far as like the base cooldown is lower than Q's. If you're in team fights, it'll out-damage Q. For what it's worth.
The fact that your W is free, you can just get more spells for your Force Pulse yourself.
Yeah.
And now heavy bot lane making a move for the Dragon. It's completely open for them right now. This will be the first advantage of the game for them by about 500 gold.
All right, well, there we go. Heavy bot lane making it work. They're bot lane heavy with minions right now, and the whole team's going to show up to push alongside them. Cabochard leading the charge here, level 4, maxing E on Lee Sin, by the way. We do see different builds a lot of the time. Red buff, actually, being grabbed by Morden, but he's not defending. He's just going to be killing away his jungle, and Gamers 2 not joining the party in time. Turret goes down.
So making that Dragon, taking the inside route and forcing Gamers 2 all the way around to take the safe route, gave them a turret in response. JWoww, he has his teleport. He has a ward in the backlines to TP too, but they're not making a move for it just yet.
So they do not want to make that one happen at all. Would have been a 4 versus 4. Mid laners would have joined about the same time anyway. Ocelot still just farming 60 to 78 in minions right now. A pretty close score between the two of them. But as we expect, Astari to the early lead. We'll see at one point this Kassadin catches back up.
Yeah, it's been a 0-kill game so far, but all the outer turrets are about to be taken by heavy bot lane here.
Ooh, bit of damage comes in. Good slow is going to land. Some decent damage there onto this actually very low HP Kayle at this point.
Yeah, heavy bot lane look like they're trying to just get out of the laning phase. Just shut down the Kassadin, make sure Aurelia doesn't scale up, and just allow themselves to team fight as much as possible and get objectives. Because they just keep going middle. They clear bottom, go middle. Clear bottom, go middle, go where the objectives are. Once they get all the outer turrets, they're going to have to ward up the jungle and make some catches and really good rotations.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yuki forced a dash back. He's all right, though. So let's see.
Had a little cocoon in his eye.
Yeah.
He's fine for a second. It stuns you. Takes you back.
He's fine now. So heavy bot lane definitely playing the more strategic game for this one. Starting this one out. Tiamat done as well for Lee Sin. And 2 attacks go in. There's the kill. The engage comes in. How's the fight going to go? Taiki in the front line. Cabo trying to force the jump away as well. Kayle comes in. First blood goes down for Morden. And there comes the dive into the back line. Big kills coming through. Haiba forced away. JWoww finds another one. Looks like a 1-for-3 fight so far. Solar Flare going to get dodged away, but Astari goes down anyway. Only Chrisland alive. 4-for-1 battle.
A triple kill there for JWoww off the back of it, and now they're going to go ahead and counter this turret. Chrisland, the only one alive. He has Ace in the hole, but JWoww would most likely block it if it happens. They go after the turret, it's dead, so they don't have that support, but look at that. We have the TP in the back line, and the ultimate intervention used, but of course there were 2 low targets and he was able to pick up at least one of them and then wait for the other. So the resets came out, and the great solar flare there at the end. You can see how low Leona was off on the side there. Dude, basically a Piltover Peacemaker would have killed him.
Yeah.
But he risks it. He says, I gotta throw it down, I gotta be a support. And it comes up big. Gives them the slow they need.
Yeah, and I feel like he hit level 6 during that fight. Because he's just level 6 now, and it's like he would have probably cast that sooner, so goes in, gets the... Even just a slow was enough, of course, to pick off Kayle, and it was a big battle. 1,000 gold lead now for Gamers 2. The minion wave's not going to be claimed on both sides, but right now this is a team that's looking great. They picked up, you know, the Aurelia, who has a, by the way, 12.5-minute Trinity Force. That is ludicrously fast.
Yeah, all 3 kills funneled onto him. There were 4 kills. He didn't get 1 assist, but meh.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I mean, he has his cake. Yep, and he'll eat it too later.
He might.
See, the Trinity Force is definitely going to make them eat that. There's a lot of damage there very early on for him. We saw an Aurelia in the last game too. Took a very long while for him to get his Trinity Force and to get going.
Yeah. Still won.
Yeah, still won. Aurelia has a very high priority in European players that play top lane. And it's not so much an NA thing.
Or Korea or China.
Or Korea, that's very true. EU just has this affinity for Aurelia. And she's actually a very good top laner. The only time I ever see it really played in Korea is as a counter pick to Ryze. Because it does well with the passive.
Yeah, I can see that.
Prison. It just has such a low duration on it anyway. The extra tenacity just puts it over the top.
I was talking to one of the LCS players actually, and they said that Europe invents the picks, Korea refines them, and then North America copies them.
Just like Morgana support.
Yeah. Like, I saw it first with Rokat.
And it happened again at All-Stars with Zillion support.
It's true. Yeah, J-Re was the first one to do it, I think. Yeah. Europe invents the picks.
Well, there's somebody who did support Zillion probably before that.
When Zillion first came out, someone played support Zillion. Yeah. But we're talking, you know, pro play. It's going to be like 20 years, like, I played support Zillion first. Like, yes, you did, to be fair. We just didn't cast it.
I played laning Evelyn. When that becomes a thing.
That was like the thing at the end of Season 2. Or, yeah, when, right after TPA won All-Stars, IPL5 was a bunch of mid-Evelyn players. People realized that it was like incredibly powerful.
Roam.
Yeah, it's super good.
Oh. You never know where he is.
You had enough mana to wave clear all the time because you'd get your mana back between waves. It was super good. So, Ocelot. Now, notice actually that he's, by the way, almost never using Riftwalk. He's keeping it available from cooldown because the base cooldown's like 7 at rank 1. And so it takes a, like, you don't want to stack it up, 1, because the mana cost is really high, and 2, the base cooldown's pretty high. So he's actually waiting around pretty heavily and leaving it available if he does need to disengage.
I want to see if he goes for an Iceborne Gauntlet, because it would give him the armor that he needs to deal with everybody on the team. Because Kayle does some physical damage. A lot of her attack speed transitions into that. And now, if he does, it's just awesome. His W on top of that, the auto attack reset, the fact that it gives you a whole bunch of mana back, and it's a percentage of your max. So the more you have, the more it gives you back.
Absolutely. See what else he grabs with this one. Ocelot just stacking his row for now. Heavy bot lane. Looks like they want to start taking control of the map again. They are up and here in time for the Dragon. JWoww does not have teleport, but Cabochard does. That means that JWoww is going to walk his way down there by himself. It will give time for Lee Sin to split push. Heavy bot lane could outplay this and get some free turret pressure.
But I think Gamers 2 recognizes that they're going to try to apply pressure and actually start it up and take it, pose the threat so it won't be a free turret. They'll at least have to blow TP or just not, or just give up the Dragon.
Yep.
Those are the two options.
Completely disengaged and said, you know what? The last team fight went better for Gamers 2, so they just trade. It's actually a pretty smart choice. I like this. Cabochard just grabbing a turret as payment for Dragon.
At the same time, it means they have to go deeper for more objectives. The fact that Gamers 2 gave up all of these early objectives, but they're still in the lead in terms of gold, is huge. Absolutely. That if Heavy Bot Lane wants to come back, they have to wait for Gamers 2 to come to them.
Well, Gamers 2 happy to wait at least for now. It looks like the first big item done for Cabochard adds a Giant's Belt as well, but has the Hydra. So big lifesteal available here for Lee Sin. Red buff grabbed by Taiki. Just chilling.
A little amendment. They have to wait for Gamers 2 to come to them or ward up the jungle precisely.
Yeah. And find those.
Figure out what they want to do. So heavy bot lane shot calling is going to be called into action here. And so far, it's stood the test.
Yeah.
They did the split. They did it really well. And now we're going to see how that holds up. Now, the top laners here, I want to see how JWoww with the 3 kills does versus Cabochard.
Well, it's Triforce versus Giant's Belt Hydra. There's a small level lead for JWoww, but he burns the ulti just to clear the wave, so he's going to peace out and join his team somewhere. They're just leaving Ocelot to split push, though. Like, this is a dedicated split push Kassadin, who, by the way, even if Kassadin couldn't win the 1v1s in this early game, I feel like he wouldn't easily, not against any of the major defenders. He can't really be caught.
Yeah.
So Gamers 2 are buying a lot of time for this Kassadin to scale up. Yuki's getting... He's basically the wave clear threat in mid lane. Like, whatever the push ends up
he goes
being,
in.
Ooh, goes in half health onto his star. He takes a Q, walks away. That was nice.
Yeah, look at how little he blew for that, too. In terms of his mana, it's immediately back. Almost no resources consumed there. Goes ahead and uses some crystalline flask charges, and now he's fine. He'll go straight for the turret, and all 4 of them are here for it. Top lane, JWoww
Great
there.
play. Root comes in, but dodged away by Ocelot. He's going to be safe. There we go. JWoww forced to flash the wall, dodges a cocoon, but still more damage comes through. Is it going to be enough? The kick is available. Big damage. This will be a dead JWoww. Nicely picked up.
And so now the pressure's on that bottom. It is a 3v4 in that bottom lane, but it's a 2 versus turret. They give it to the turret most of the time. Actually, it's a 3v3 because they pulled Nocturne back, so their engage is gone aside from the solar flare to defend this turret.
Well, Nocturne has pretty decent wave clear, so he's going to be pretty safe in this one. Gets rid of the minions, so it's basically a kill for a blue buff and some turret pressure there from Gamers 2. Now, I did like the fact that Gamers 2 is using Graves as the anti-push. Blue buff's still actually backed by heavy bot lane, but it does mean that blue buffs actually went to the wrong people in certain cases. There comes the dive TP in from Irelia towards the top side. Pick on the Morden. Big damage comes through. Nice repel. Dodges the damage from Irelia, but Taiki just gets chased down. Ocelot get the kill credit. 5-2.
Escaped from 2 members to go into the rest of the majority of the team. Didn't have the vision to cover himself there. Saw that Diode was coming up with Yuki a little too late. The repel call was already entered. But JWoww, the great teleport into the back line there. He showed up the last place you expect him. You're like, wait, we just killed you.
Yep.
And now you're in front of us.
Other side of the map. Well played on this one. Of course, that is a 5-minute teleport cooldown, but worth it, of course. So now, can heavy bot lane play around that TP? They know it's been burned. They know they've got another 4.5 minutes. Can they do anything with that, though, is the real test for these guys. Ocelot back to the bottom lane, back in the split push. He's going to get what farm he can. And this is the playstyle. I mean, Gamers 2, they are slow playing this game.
Yeah, he's also got double buffs. It's extremely hard to deal with a Kassadin. He just has Rod of Ages. Sitting on a lot of gold right now, actually. So when he backs, he'll be able to pick up some great goodies for himself and be even more powerful. Like right now, he's a really big threat, but now it's just really disheartening when you see somebody who's already causing at least 2 people to deal with him, and you're like, he hasn't purchased in a while. He hasn't added more to his arsenal. He's just ready to cash in. And That's an aggressive move there by Ocelot.
Wow, he's pretty confident in his team's ability to follow up with this one. Gets some damage down. Kabashard forced to kick back JWoww. And now actually, this is going to be Gamers 2 actually getting us surrounded this one. There's really nowhere for Lee Sin to go unless he can ward hop away safely. Ocelot going to get some damage through. Actually, doesn't really land the ulti on that one. Kabashard gets away.
Yeah, he used his flash there to get out. He has his teleport available. There's not much he can do. He's up in the fight. Doesn't want to go ahead and split push his side lane. And at the same time, now it's a 5-on-5 in the mid lane. But there's definitely an advantage here for Gamers too.
Yeah. They're the team in the lead.
But the thing is you don't want to tower dive a Zyra.
No.
That's where the disengage
This
comes
team can't tower dive. There's no tank.
Yeah, exactly.
Nocturne built squishy. Aurelia's built squishy. She's actually going for the Zephyr right now.
Feral Flare already completed.
Yep.
The 30-stack Feral Flare. Bladed Rune King on top of it. And Taki, oh!
Ooh, Juke's back, but still gets slowed down. Big damage comes through. Kill picked up there for JWoww. 4-1, 20 minutes in the game.
Yeah, and 1-3 here for Taiki.
Yeah.
Also down in levels. And now the Dragon up in 30 seconds for Gamers too. Picking up that kill for themselves allows them to apply the pressure and get the positioning if they wanted it, but instead they're going to back, get all the combat stats, then go contest the Dragon.
And it's going to be the case 15 seconds till that comes back up. Now the last Dragon was uncontested by Gamers 2. Or they got that one without anyone really trying to stop them. So the timer is going to be more exact for the blue team here. There's a chance Heavy Botlane gives that one up just simply by not knowing exactly when it comes up. We'll see.
So Rod of Ages already stacking up on Ocelot. Gets himself the Seeker's Arm Guard. Was sitting on home guard already this early on in the game. So he's ready to move around the map. He's ready to get himself into position.
Yeah.
And that helps him get to the Dragon just right in time. And they've basically conceded. Heavy bot lane, they want nothing to do with this Dragon, but they're going to have to answer for it because now it's gold for Gamers 2.
Exactly. Gamers 2 have been just acquiring advantages consistently this game.
You got to smack the Baron a couple times, you know. Keep your sanity.
Make sure he's awake.
Yep.
It's like a newborn baby. Make sure it cries.
But don't smack it, though.
Well, I mean, no. No, sorry.
Freaks, stop smacking babies.
Wow. That's not where I was going with that one. I apologize very sincerely for this one. Ocelot, though, he's just still doing the split push. Okay. Let him go.
Hi.
Let's him off with a warning. Yeah, I got you.
Now we see JWoww. He's just in the top lane. He's going to continue to... This lane is actually frozen in his favor if he leaves it like this. It'll continue to push towards him. And the fact that there's a cannon minion in it that hasn't taken any damage... Yeah.
The fact that he's freezing in general really shows you how slow G2 wants to play this. Because they're the team that's winning. They could push, go for turrets.
This lane's frozen too.
We're just going to freeze lanes. We're going to play another 10 minutes and just let it go.
Oh, nope. Ocelot's not going to have any of that. He's going to give that thing a little love tap.
Yeah. Kabashard, unfortunately, like he's in XP range, but he knows he can't really fight Ocelot. That should have been a successful sneak in. Kale's moving his way down. Okay, goes for a bit of damage. Does fight Ocelot. Got a minion wave lead, so yeah.
Wants to force him to clear the wave instead of freezing it. If only a little. Because look at JWoww. JWoww's frozen that wave and used that cannon minion to make it push all the way back into him. And now he's like, all right, I have to show up to these fights now. I got to clear it. Got to back.
Two got exactly what they wanted. Said, okay, we have enough gold. We're going to do the recalls. There will be a wave right down by the tier 2 turret in the bottom lane, but heavy bot lane not moving in time to stop that. It seems like their shot calls have stopped. Heavy bot lane are just like clearing what minions are there, but there's so many like waves that are randomly frozen. They're not getting a whole lot of gold anymore, and just things have stalled out for these guys.
And Ocelot is going to pick himself up a blue, and you're right. I said the shot calling is going to be called in question here for heavy bot lane. It was good at the start of the game, but it's really trickled off after they gave up those couple of kills in mid, where the call was to finish off the turret, and then the counter engage came in from Duke. Or I guess the engage there.
Yeah.
So they were looking
they just dove right as the turret died. Well, the split has switched places. Ocelot's now gone to the top lane, which is smart because Baron's the top side of the map, so put your teleport on the bottom side. Try to pull attention with JWoww there. Ocelot waiting on top of the pink ward. Does see it's going to be the Lee Sin to fight against him, who has not built any MR yet. So I wonder how Ocelot would do in this kind of a battle. Every time I said that like they can't fight someone, it's always gone the other way. I was like, Ocelot can't beat any split pushers, then like Chunks killed a half. And I'm like, Kabashard can't really fight Ocelot, then goes in when the minion wave dies. I'm like, okay, well, minion waves are kind of dictating the trades, but in isolated 1v1s, I wouldn't have been wrong.
JWoww can always show up to these with the teleport.
Exactly.
So you're not really 1v1ing anybody.
Nope.
I don't know if they abide by that code. Unless you're winning, then they're just like, yeah, that's fine.
And
I'm not going to show up.
I guess keep in mind as well that once the lanes break down, rank 2 Nocturne ulti plus teleport is really easy to swing a fight with. So heavy bot lane to be very afraid of, like, anytime they engage, 2 guys could join in about 4 seconds.
Yeah, and we see here the extra armor from Ocelot. He knows where he wants to be. He wants to be against this Lee Sin. Wants to be split push, and we see that Morden is off on the side here. He's ready to go. There's nobody around Cabochard if he pushes up at all.
Oh, ping spot the Leona. That's fine. Not too important for these guys. Morden makes it around 4. As you can see, Cabochard did not want any part of that one at all. Again, recognizes the amount of MAA that's available. Knows people could slink into the brushes. And it's really just heavy bot lane grabbing the junk lanes. Whatever stuff pushes in and it's safe, they can grab it. But otherwise, no real moves are being made. There's the dive in. Good damage comes through. Flash is going to get him out of the Fear Tether. Great kick back as well. Morden uses the Blade of the Rune King, though. Cabochard's got no way to disengage anymore, and he's going to go down.
Just so much damage here from Morden. The fact that he completed his Blade of the Ruined King on top of the Feral Flare, he is extremely potent. He has all of this attack speed. And if he gets on this turret, it's going to die. And here's Dude with the engage.
4v5, the dive comes in. Good ulti keeps the Zyra alive. But here comes J1 in the back line, picks up one, now goes for Krislin. Big damage comes through the dive forward, 2 more kills. But if you die for it, again, the replay of this fight, big kills come out. J-Web blows people up. They disengage and Gamer2's back out.
Yeah. We talked about that as we were going into the swap out there. Just the way they were able to execute that, knowing they had the numbers advantage and then immediately pushing it was huge. And now they aren't even going to back, they're going to go straight back up there.
Big pain coming through. Tier 2 turret under fire. No one in the right mind would defend this turret. It is going to go to Gamers2. So, 4-4 in turrets. Interestingly enough, heavy bot lane actually got turret kills themselves throughout this game.
But they couldn't do anything afterwards. I was talking about how they have to ward up the jungle and push that lead, but they didn't really have a lead. They had an objective lead, which means that they would have map pressure if they had more gold and more threatening champions. The fact that they were behind meant that they had just taken like territory that Gamers2 could freeze in. And Gamers2 abused that. They recognized it, and it's really good on them that they were able to pull that off.
Absolutely. Absolutely great play by these guys. Any team that identifies the 5v4 dives, I'm always a fan of, because it means you saw it coming in advance. Like, you don't get 5v4 dives unless you saw it coming. Just in general, you don't pull 5 guys up for no reason. And so they have the foresight to see it 30 seconds in advance, and then the execution to pull it off and get kills for it. That's always a good mark for a team.
Now we see the Ionian Boots of Lucidity for Taiki. He's looking for the lockups, very standard build now for Elise. And at the same time, the items are actually pretty decent here for heavy bot lane, but it's the 7K about to be even more gold difference here for Gamers2. And the fact that they've just stacked these on and they haven't let up. Ocelot has 100% kill participation, and he's going to have more.
Oh, Krislin forced over the wall. The engage comes in. Solar Flare does not land onto much, but Astari goes down 1-for-0. Taiki forced away. Zyra ulti makes him back out, but another 1-for-0.
And taking that advantage for themselves. They're going after the Baron here. They throw down the pink ward.
Well, Cabochard is around. Taiki will maybe look to steal this one. Does not have flash. It's a one-way trip for the Elise. Dude is on ward killing duty. Gamers2, will they go for this one? Caitlyn will be blocked out. Will they burst in time? There's the repel. They go in for the fight anyway. Lee Sin across the wall. Smite comes through. Picked up for Gamers2 on top of 2 kills as well. Over the wall goes Ocelot. Flash slow comes in. Haiva, Cabochard both getting chased down. 1 kill picked up. Gonna make that 2 in a second, and now only Astari is alive.
So they end up getting the Baron for themselves. It's 14-2 in kills. Ocelot still 100% kill participation. He's been involved in all of them, and now they're going to get a mid turret on top of everything that they acquired for themselves in that fight. Just an immense play there.
Oh yeah,
by Gamers2. 28 minutes in, they're like, all right, we can do Baron. We went for top, now we can do Baron now.
And the fact that they are all ready to just dive over the top instead of going for Baron at the start of it all, said, okay, our goal is actually to bait them in, bait the repel if you can, Propel didn't really come out. They just said, okay, screw it, kill him.
And they sat there and soaked the damage from Baron, because what you typically do as a jungler, and you're like, I can see the Baron, I can gauge the DPS, the damage per second that's happening to it. How long until I repel now, go in, and smite? And then Gamers 2 got it to about 2,000, and they stopped. And they were like, all right, when are you going to come in? When are you going to come in? And then he repelled, and they were like, all right, go in. And they went over, and they left the Baron at actually 2,000 HP.
Yeah.
And then Cabo went in. Cabo Shard went in with Lee Sin. And at least they're like, all right, I guess we have to get it now. Our backline's dying. And they still don't come up with it there because Morden gets the smite.
Yeah, that was actually impressive. I'm actually wondering, I'd like to look back and figure out if they left no targets for Repel. Because I'm not sure if Repel is actually in range of Baron itself. And if the champs all jump the wall, there's nothing to fall to. And he could never have smited. I don't know. I'm just wondering if that was the case.
Pretty sure you're...
Because there's a way to outplay that, to like literally give no repel targets, if they repel far enough back.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to do it really quickly.
Sure, yeah. I don't know if that was intentionally their goal, but certainly it might have happened regardless.
Yeah.
It still came down to 50-50 smite. Like, it got to the point where someone had to smite that anyway, so...
Yeah, but Gamers 2 put themselves in the situation that even if they had given up the Baron, they still would have cleaned house out.
Absolutely. Yeah, they were going to get ahead in that regardless. I think that's actually a really good point, that they would win even with the smite. So the siege now to the bottom lane, 31.5 minutes in.
And Gamers 2, they don't have a good history of doing well in the Challenger series. Their previous attempts to make it past the round of 8 have been foiled almost every time.
True. And
now, Bristol made it with recent gaming to 4th place. His journey might end the round of 10.
Well, some damage might come on through in this one. And we're going to see who claims the throne in this game and moves on to the top 8. There we go. Turret goes down. The dive in behind the inhibitor. It's going to be Elise falling down rather rapidly. Ocelot unstoppable, 5-0 and 10. The botlane forced backwards very rapidly. 2 more kills come through as Astari and Hiva fall. It's going to be the bottom inhibitor for sure. Triple kill for Kassadin. A 7-1 and 4 Aurelia. The Nexus turret's now under fire at 32.5 minutes. Yuki on the fountain just for fun of this one. No way that this game gets turned around. Gamers 2 going to be our second winner of the day. And we'll see him in 2 weeks.
Ocelot coming up big there for his team. He became a split pushing.